Has this esports scene gone too far? What is up, peeps? Welcome back to more Counter-Strike news. Some breaking news out there, and it is just absurd. We have now potentially had one of the youngest signees ever in esports history now signed as a CS pro. He is just 9 years old. He was born in 2015, is not even 10 yet. It feels wrong saying all of those things combined. His name is Amir, and I want to call him Young Amir because he's going to be young for probably the next decade, and he's now been signed, apparently, to Team Spirit, who continues their drive into these young signings and into these recruitment strategies, which are borderline a little testy, okay? I think this will be under future observation when you sign someone this young, and should be. That's just my opinion. I hope it's done safely. But we now have a look into this 9-year-old's life who is on stream playing with his own, I would assume, mom. And that's mostly how you have to do it nowadays. There has to be a parent, an adult by your side. And even then, he's probably a little too young to be on most stream platforms that we know, whether it be Twitch or YouTube. And we'll talk about breaking guidelines later. But he is cracked, and he is absolutely insane at the game. There's no denying that.
Окне. Тебя один Б. Ой-ой-ой, хорош.
Я на Б вообще не слышу.
Можешь, Амир, просто спину себе забрать и подождать, пока сыграет этот...
Я сейчас сыграю даже. Не.
Гараж, да.
Короче, один шар должен быть.
Окей.
10 хп джангл. И один шар должен быть. В сайте нету никого.
Да, можешь ставить. Не, близко не может быть, можешь ставить.
Хорош.
Видел?
Нет.
Найс.
НТ. Молодец.
Хороший, да, хороший раунд сделал.
Хорош. Блин.
Давай.
Не, красиво, красиво.
I mean, this kid, since the womb, it seems, his reflexes have now been built and formed into a Counter-Strike potential future prodigy, which Spirit, of course, with their academy program, they have eyes on this. I think Overdrive helps out with that stuff too. They spot talent far ahead of most other organizations out there, and they now apparently go after them. We are talking about a kid at 9 years old with 8,000 hours in the game of Counter-Strike, and albeit some of it might be alt-tabbed, this dude has 4 times my hours, and he is a third of my age. Like, and not to mention over 2,300 elo on FACEIT, and unfortunately, he went viral yesterday. I say unfortunately because, well, Darwin and the FACEIT guys have had an eye on this kid for quite some time, but with his signing making him viral, rightfully so, FACEIT's like, oh yeah, you've breached our policies. You have to be a 13-year-old to actually be playing FACEIT games and Counter-Strike, you know. It's a game about killing people. 9 years old might be a bit young for some people out there. I'm not here to judge. I just can't judge FACEIT for upholding their policies because this has happened with a lot of younger streamers out there in the Twitch space where these gamers go viral for being super young and super good, and then Twitch and YouTube discover, wait a second, you lied and you broke policies, to which he has now been banned on FACEIT until he's 13. So for the next 4 years, I'm not meaning to laugh, it's just funny, okay? Because this kid will be fine. There are other ways to play Counter-Strike, all right? He will be okay. He'll continue to play. There's plenty of other options that he has, but this is quite possibly, at least for me, this is the youngest ever esports player to be signed that I have ever seen before and probably ever will. At just 9 years old, Young Amir, I don't know how this is even possible, but it's utterly insane where esports has gone and where it is going to be. I've talked about Kung Fu AJ. I think I first covered him when he was 13 or 14 years old. I used to talk about Frozen back when he was 14, 15, or 16. Of course, we have Munisi and Donk and Kyosuke, but 9 years old, we're in single-digit territory. That's absurd to me. And I do really hope in these cases the parents are heavily involved in taking care of these kids. I've covered a lot of young gamers out there, and I've spoken to a lot of parents who luckily they seem to have a good head on their shoulders and directing them the right way, making sure they're going to school, and this is actually something they want to pursue as they are super young to be making these kind of full-on life decisions. but I just couldn't help but cover this. Team Spirit is going to be a next generation of talent by the time these guys are in their teens. It's just, I really have nothing else to say. So what do you guys think about potentially the youngest player ever signed, not just in Counter-Strike, but in esports? He's got to be up there or down there. Till next time, take care of yourselves, guys. Drink up, and I'll see you back here really soon. All right, see ya.